This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Beamer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we are live from the Den at Snowflake High School for a good old-fashioned 3A East round ball battle between the visiting Sholo Cougars, who bring in their number one ranking tonight with their only glitch in their PowerPoint schedule, to a tough Miami team that we happened to see on Monday night. And we know what these Lady Cougars bring, and they are going to be a tough out this evening. Tasked with going up against them is the number 8 Snowflake Lobos. The Snowflake Lobos come in tonight to tonight's game after a tough loss the other night against Chinle, a game that some of people expected them to win, but as I talked in a pregame show, I just got the answer: we didn't play very well. So we're going to go with our Ace Hardware keys to the game. The Ace Hardware keys to the game, the first game is for the Sholo Cougars. They have to play their style of ball. They have to be fast. They have to be up-paced. They have to be able to do what they've done to get them here at this point. Snowflake has got to play defense, rebound, and they have to make their shots, specifically their free throws. As we go through and watch them and how they're going to match up against the Sholo Cougar squad, a very tough Sholo Cougar squad this evening. As we move now, that is our Ace Hardware keys to the game. Now we move on to our Summit Healthcare injury report. And as far as we know, there is no injuries or major injuries that are going to prevent anyone from getting major minutes that they're used to tonight. So luckily our Summit Healthcare injury report is free and clear for these both squads as we get ready for some basketball action tonight. So this has been our Ace Hardware keys to the game and our Summit Healthcare injury report. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back and we're going to start this one for you, folks. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports.
We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Good evening once again from Snowflake High School as the Sholo Cougars travel down the road to take on the Snowflake Lobos at home. The Sholo Cougars defeating these Lady Lobos the first time they met by a pretty good margin over at Sholo. Snowflake had I believe they had a 16-point lead in the third quarter, which was evaporated pretty quick, and the Sholo Cougars came down on top of that one. So we'll see what Coach Francis and Coach Brogan have prepared tonight as we get set to introduce the starting lineups for both teams this evening. Boyce, Coolish, Lindsay, Moore, and I believe that is Stahl come in tonight as the starters, as we're going to try to listen to public address announcer Travis Flake with the, and that's going to be Hadley Nichols, the senior. Nichols, Brogan, Reedhead, Hips, and Denhalter are going to round out the top five for the Lobos. Coach Mike Brogan's squad. My mistake. I guess Reedhead was just out there congratulating the starters. So Chloe Reedhead is not going to be it. Chloe Oberg will get her chance to start. As we're going to get ready for tip-off, folks. And like I said, these Sholo Cougars put their #1 ranking on the line tonight as we get set for a Northland Pioneer College tip-off. Northland Pioneer College. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That is Northland Pioneer College with locations in Navajo and Apache County. Tip is up and it's going to belong to the Lobos. Hips with the ball. Hips crosses over half court. Tonight, the AIA has assigned Mr. Quinn Ashton, Mr. Scott Baker, and Mr. Jake Udall as our officials. And folks, 3 of the very best in the area to do this game, as we're going to get a whistle and a foul by these officials tonight as Mr. Baker comes over to the table. These men, a couple of them actually coach, a couple of them actually do multiple sports and are very good at their craft, put in countless hours and dedicated time to make sure they understand the rules and the mechanics for basketball. Inbound by Hips into Denhalter. Denhalter, middle of the key, up and in, no good. Rebound is back to Denhalter. Out on top to Nichols, over to Brogan. Brogan back to Nichols, inside to Oberg. Over at the free throw line into Brogan. Brogan three-pointer, no good. Rebound is out on Denhalter. That's going to belong to the Sholo Cougars. It's their first chance to come down offensively and create something for them. As you get a chance, folks, as we start the game here, to look at the AIA rankings. I had the Lobos ranked 8th, but I am not exactly sure. I haven't checked them today, to be honest with you. Ball out of bounds. That is going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos. Mr. Scott Baker coming to the 28-foot line. It's going to be Nichols bringing that in. As Snowflake is actually ranked 7th, as well as these Sholo Cougars are ranked 1st. Ball inside to Denhalter. Denhalter has it ripped away. That's going to be a fast break, and here comes Kulish. Kulish, left side, right hand, no good. Rebound is Nichols. Nichols out to Hips. Now Hips dribbling down the near side. Hips dribbles the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound is by, that is number 21, Grace Moore of the Sholo Cougars. As Moore gives it to Kulish, Kulish going to take on the ball handling duties tonight for the Sholo Cougars. As Kulish brings it up, goes to the left side. Ball's in the corner. Shot good. And that is the first points of the game, and that is going to be Jordan Boyce with the first 2 of the game for the Sholo Cougars. Full court press now as press comes to Denhalter. Denhalter crosses the time stripe with about 2 seconds to spare. Brogan long three-pointer. That is going to be good, and that is going to be a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-point field goal for Kinsey Brogan. As Kulish brings the ball, Kulish just above the free throw line. Over to Wilson. As Wilson puts it up, that's going to drop. Actually, that was Lindsay, excuse me. All right, Wilson was 30, Lindsay's 20, and the Sholo comes out in their black uniforms, green numbers, gold trim, Snowflake in their home whites, blue, black trim. So my mistake. Hips for 3, no good. Rebound, Moore by the Cougars. 3-2, early lead for Snowflake as we got 5.5 left here in this first quarter. That's going to be Moore. Moore dribbles to her right, down on the right side, in the middle to Kulish. Kulish over to Lindsay. Give and go to Lindsay. 8-foot jumper, no good. Rebound is going to be handled. By Stahl. And eventually it's going to end up back in the hands of Denhalter. And here come the Lobos. As Hips brings it to the top of the key, over to Nichols on the far side, to Brogan in three-point corner. Long court pass to Hips, to Denhalter. Denhalter on the line, shoots it, no good. Rebound is controlled by Addis Kulish for the Sholo Cougars. As Snowflake gets set to sub in a fresh 5, as I believe that was number 23, Stahl gets it and loses it on the rebound. Now Denhalter on the right side. Denhalter goes to the court. That's up, and that is going to be an offensive foul. And we're going to get an offensive foul by Mr. Jake Udall called on Raya Denhalter, number 24. And folks, they don't call it a player control foul for nothing. And that is exactly what that was. Lobos check in a fresh 5. Boyce to inbound the ball. Boyce over to, I believe that's Jaylee Boyce, number 14. Ball inside, up, no good. Rebound is by Carlisle. Carlisle loses it out of bounds, and that's going to stay and belong to the Sholo Cougars as Carlisle mishandled it. Ball slips out off her. We're going to have the Cougars ball out of bounds. This is Kulish in the corner. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound tipped around, falls out of bounds, and that is going to belong to the Sholo Cougars again. And Sholo just having a real good time putting up these shots on the board. Or excuse me, putting these shots up, but also getting the boards this evening. Ball goes inside. Put up by, I want to say that's Dazen for the Cougars. It's either Dazen or, it is Dazen, Madison Dazen for the Cougars. As we're going to get a miscue as Stewart's going to throw it to Reedhead, and she's going to throw it to behind Reedhead, and that's going to belong out of bounds. And that is going to be, it's a 6-3 lead here with 4 minutes left, halfway through the first quarter for the Sholo Cougars, up 3 on the Lobos. Ball is inbounded. It's going to be tipped from the hands of Moore and going to belong to the Lobos as Carlisle brings it down. Carlisle with the miss. As that's going to trickle out of bounds, and that's going to be out of bounds on number 14, Jaylee Boyce. And that's going to go ball out for the Snowflake Lobos as Chloe Reedhead set to inbounds. Reedhead over to Kennedy Stewart to Hancock. Hancock back to Stewart. Stewart at the top of the key over to Hancock. Hancock to Carlisle on the near side. 3-point shot. No good. We're going to have us a whistle, and we're going to have a foul, and that is going to be a foul on the Lobos. That is going to be their second team foul of the quarter, and that's going to go to the Sholo Cougars. That is going to be whistled on Carlisle. That's going to be her first personal, second team Cougars inbounds, and we're going to get a timeout. We're going to take a 30-second timeout as well. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. Is the ball out and the timeout, and that timeout was taken by the Sholo Cougars. Ball's going to be brought in by the Cougars, and that's going to be Jordan Boyce bringing it in. Jordan with a very, very, very dangerous pass intended for number 14, Jaylee Boyce. That ball is going to go out of bounds. However, it was tipped by Chloe Reedhead of the Snowflake Lobos. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get, I think they're calling that, I want to say that's on number 12, Tatum Moore, and that's going to be the first team foul. It's going to be her first team foul. And oh no, that is on the Lobos. That's going to be on Carlisle. And that's going to be her second foul, team third. As we're going to get an offensive foul now, and that's going to go on, I believe they called that on number 3. Nope, they called it on number 5. That's Jordan Boyce, her first personal. That is the team second foul. I'm Aaron Hewish. I got Robin on the camera. I got Mel and I got RJ in the truck bringing you some basketball action this evening. Don't go anywhere, folks, because we have the boys game next, and these two boys teams matched up in Sholo a couple weeks ago, and the Sholo Cougars had a commanding 18-point lead and only squeaked out a 72-70 win over the Snowflake Lobos. And that's going to be the boys game right after this, as decent crowd on hand for the girls game. A lot of the Lobo faithful and Cougar faithful wearing their colors, showing their support for their local squad. A local rivalry that extends back, getting close to 50 years now. Not, of course, one of the older ones in the state, as we're going to get a ball out of bounds and a little bit of rolling around, and now it's going to be called to the Lobos as Chloe Reedhead's going to bring this into Kennedy Stewart. Kennedy Stewart over to Hancock, top of the key. Hancock to Reedhead. That's going to go to Brogan. Brogan three-point shot, no good. And we're going to get a push, and we're going to get a 3-shot foul. And that's going to be on number 12, Tatum Moore. That's going to be her second personal, team third foul thus far, as Brogan's going to shoot 3. As it's 6-3 very early on here in this ball game, as Kinsey Brogan goes to the line. First one is up, and it is good. And like I said, in our Ace Hardware Keys of the Game, the key for Snowflake is going to be making easy shots, especially those pesky free throws, folks. As Brogan lines up for her second. Second one is good. Lindsay and Stahl checking in for the Sholo Cougars, as 6-5. Cougars with the 1-point lead, 2 minutes and 49 seconds left here to play in the first. There's Brogan's third free throw. That is good. That's going to tie us and knot us up at 6 as Snowflake comes to put on the pressure. Here's Coolish guarded by Stewart. Coolish loses it, falls to the floor and loses it. Now the rebound goes to Brogan. And we're going to get an offensive foul on Kinsey Brogan. I'm not sure exactly what had happened. It looked like the referee might have seen an elbow or something there, as referee Jake Udall whistles that one. And regardless of what it is, it's going to belong to the Sholo Cougars, and that's Snowflake's 4th team. So the next one, we're going to shoot them up this quarter. As there's Coolish, guarded by Nichols. Coolish now brings it across center court, as Coolish is going to lose it, and that's going to go to Nichols, and it's going to be kind of getting in the hands of Brogan, knocked away, and now going to belong to Hips. Hips crosses the time stripe. Top of the key over to Brogan. Brogan to Denhalter on the far side. Back to Brogan. Errant pass back to Brogan. Pass to Hips is off, but back to Brogan again. To Nichols, to Hips at the top of the key. Over to Denhalter. Denhalter driving the lane. 6-foot jumper, no good. Rebound is Olberg. Olberg puts it back up. No good. Rebound Denhalter. Denhalter puts it up, no good. Rebound Olberg puts it up. And we're going to have a whistle, and we're going to have a foul. And Chloe Olberg is going to go to the line, tied 6-6, with a chance to break this tie for these Snowflake Lobos. foul is going to go against Stahl. That's going to be her first personal, team fourth. So both teams struggling with team fouls very early on in this game. Oberg off on her first one. This game's going to still be knotted. Just over 2 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Oberg's second free throw is off and no good. And we had a lane violation, so no matter what the basket does, that's going to go to the Show Low Cougars. As ball's going to be inbounded to Perkins. Perkins is guarded by Hips. As the ball is passed backwards to Boyce, as Denhalter is going to get whistled, and she's going to get, and I think Denhalter might be in a little bit of foul trouble here in the first quarter. That's going to be 5, so we're going to shoot them. And that's going to be Denhalter's second, as that's going to be the 5th team, and that is going to be a shooting foul, and that is not a good position for the Lobos to be in this, the first quarter, with a 6-6 tie. Boyce going to the line to chance to break this tie early on in this game. Like to thank our production team, like to thank all our sponsors. We'll run down them real quick while she shoots her free throws. Let's look at her first one. First one is no good. As we run down our sponsors here, Show Low Ford, Ace Hardware, Comfort Fit Dentures, Deemer's Glass, Summit Healthcare, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Did I say Deemer's Glass? I think I forgot Deemer's Glass. We have Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, and all those sponsors bringing you in. As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a timeout, we're going to take one too. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Welcome back to Show Low Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com, as the inbound ball is going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos with a 6-6 tie here early on. The sole scorer for the Snowflake Lobos is Kinsey Brogan with all 6 of their points. As Chloe Reedhead's going to get trapped in the corner, and she's going to get whistled, and she's going to get a foul called on her by the Show Low Cougars, and that's going to be on Perkins. That's going to be her first. That's going to be the team 5th. So Reedhead's going to go to the line to shoot 2 as well. And these are our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throws for the evening. Reedhead's first one is no good. 6-6 remains the score. Reedhead looks, stops, puts it up, and that one is going to be good, and that's going to break the tie, 7-6, as we're going to get a substitution for the Cougars, as number 24, Romo, is going to sit, and she is going to be replaced by, I'm looking to get a number, she's going to be replaced by Tatum Moore, as Snowflake pressing, Show Low brings the ball across the time stripe, Show Low, Perkins with the ball, and Perkins is going to get whistled, and she's going to get called for a travel. As Show Low's going to go, and I believe Dazen. Nope, that's going to be Romo checking back in for the Show Low Cougars. Reedhead across the time stripe, top of the key. Reedhead now to her right, over to Hips. Hips far side in the corner to Brogan. Brogan, 3-point shot, no good. Rebound is going to be on. I believe that's going to be. Show Low's numbers are a little bit harder to see than I would like, as Denhalter is going to be whistled for her. I want to say that's going to be her 3rd. As Moore is going to go to the line to shoot a couple, down 7-6 early on. Moore's first one, no good. That's going to bring Kennedy Stewart into the game for Hadley Nichols. The foul is on Nichols. That's her first personal. And team foul, it's their sixth, but kind of a moot point at this part of the game. Second free throw is no good. Ball goes out, tipped far. Now it's going to be rebounded by Reedhead on the far side in front of the table. Ball's to Hips, another three-point shot, and that one's going to be no good. Rebound is tipped. Oberg tips it to herself. Oberg goes up, and Oberg's going to put in her first points of the game with a 9-6 lead for the Snowflake Lobos. As this is Romo controlling the ball across half court, guarded by Hips. Romo inside, and Romo, it's knocked away, and Oberg knocks it away, and Hips is going to gather it in. Hips is going to go, and Hips is going to shoot about a 10-foot jumper, and that is going to fall, and that is going to be 2 points for Nicole Hips with 35 seconds left here. As I think that's Boyce dribbling it down for the Cougars. She is going to miss it off the mark. Rebound's going to go to Brogan. Brogan falls to his knees, kicks it out to Hips. Hips is going to kick it over to Kennedy Stewart. Kennedy's going to bring it down. She's going to throw it inside to Chloe Oberg. Chloe's going to grab it, put it up. No good. And now we have the Sholo Cougars in control. Boyce with the rebound, controlling the ball. As Boyce is going to get whistled, and she's going to get a travel with 10 seconds left. Snowflake up 11-6 on these Sholo Cougars. It is noted that the Cougars do not have the Wilsons currently. The Wilson sisters, Raquel and Aubrey, playing right now. I've been told that they are at another school function and they could be joining them sometime soon. As there's the ball into Oberg. Oberg's going to put out to Hips. Hips, three-point shot, no good. Rebound is Reedhead, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. We're going to take a break, folks. It's the Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Hey, White Mountains, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center on the Deuce and Sholo. At Horn Auto Center, we're proud to offer the best pricing on all of our new inventory. We won't be beat on price. We'll honor any advertised price on a comparably equipped vehicle on any new Chevy, GMC, or Cadillac. It's that simple. Save time, gas, and money while keeping your tax dollars local when you visit Horn Auto Center. Come see us on the Deuce and Sholo, where we won't be beat on price. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
All right, we're back, folks, as Sholo just puts up another 2, and I believe that's going to be Mackenzie Kolish with those 2 points. As we start out the second quarter, ball belongs to the Cougars. Cougars inbounds it, go down and make the best, and they play some pesky defense there and knock it in the hands. As Kolish is going to bring it up. She's going to cross the time stripe over the S here at Snowflake High School, guarded by Stewart. Kolish against Stewart. Stewart backs up past the 28-foot line. Over to Boyce. Boyce on the far side. Eventually it's going to end up with Moore. Moore to the top of the key. Back to Moore again. Moore on the near side. Inside. That's going to be Stahl, and that's going to be 2 for Stahl as the Sholo Cougars have cut the lead within 1. Just over a minute gone by in this quarter. That's going to go to the middle. Lobo's going to go to Carlisle. Carlisle tries to throw it into Carlisle. And it is intercepted. Lindsay intercepts it, gives it back to Kolish. Kolish hanging out at center court right now. Now over to Boyce. Jordan Boyce. Back to Kolish. Kolish dribbles over to the near side. To Moore. Moore now inside. Moore to Stahl. Stahl misses the rebound. That's going to be rebound Lobos as Chloe Reedhead's going to throw a long court pass. And it goes to no one. And now Grace Moore is going to grab that ball, but she's going to try to dribble kind of behind herself underneath the Lobo basket and simply just put a dribble off her foot and out of bounds. Unfortunate for her. And now it's going to go to the Lobos. Hips is going to be the inbound. Hips to inbound. Hips into Nichols. Nichols three-point shot, no good. The Lobos loving that three-point shot, although they've only hit one. I think they're about 1 for 10 or 1 for 11. If I check my stats a little closer, I can tell you. As there's Coolish bringing it across the time stripe. Coolish looking for Boyce. Boyce now has it over on the near side. Boyce dribbles outside, inside the key. Now into Moore. Moore off the mark, rebounded by Stahl. Over to Moore. Moore at the free throw line. Now out to Lindsay. Lindsay up off the mark, rebound, Brogan. Brogan rebound, gives it to Hips. Hips brings it through. Sholo backing off on the pressure, giving it to Brogan, giving it to Hips. Now over to Denhalter. Denhalter dribbles to her left, goes in, tries a reverse layup, no good. Rebound is Olberg. And we're going to get a jump ball on Chloe Olberg, and that is going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos, according to the alternating jump rules. Ball's going to be inbounded underneath the Snowflake basket as Jaylee Boyce checks in, as well as Dazen. Madison Dazen checking in for the Sholo Cougars. Hips over to Nichols. Nichols three-point shot, and that one is going to be a Comfort Fit Dentures three-point shot as Hadley Nichols knocks one down for the Lobos, back to a 4-point lead as Boyce brings the ball across the time stripe. Boyce out at the 28-foot line in the center court. Now gives it to Dazen. Dazen over to Kulish. Kulish now to her left. Now she's her right, unguarded. 12-foot jumper off the bank shot, and that is good for Mackenzie Kulish for 2. Lobos with the ball, up 2. Here's Hips. Hips to the top of the key. Over to Nichols, back to Hips, to Brogan. Brogan inside to Denhalter. Denhalter drives, left foot, shot, no good. Rebounded Olberg, and Olberg kind of loses the ball, gets kind of tripped up and loses the ball, but kicks it out to Hips. Fresh shot clock though. Nichols for 3. Nichols misses it. Olberg taps the rebound, but that one's going to end up in the hands of Jaylee Boyce. Boyce over to Kulish to bring it across. Kulish signaling to her team the offense that they're going to run as Kulish goes right. Now she goes left, left hand, left side. Kulish off, no good. Rebounded by Dazen. Dazen's going to go, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. And I believe that is, yes, that is Dazen. The foul is going to be on Olberg. That is going to be Olberg's first personal, first team of the quarter. As the first quarter, we had a lot of fouls moving us through things. In this quarter, we've only had one called so far as Dazen puts up her first free throw. No good. Both teams struggling from the line. As we get a whistle, and we're going to have another substitution for the Sholo Cougars as Amberlyn Lindsay checks in. Folks, I know the Snowflake girls a little bit because of my position in my career, and I'm not as familiar with some of these Sholo girls, so I'm trying to make sure I get the names right. As the second free throw by Dazen is good, and that brings the Cougars within 1. Nichols now on the near side over to Hips. Hips. That's Hips to Brogan inside to Denhalter. Denhalter's going to put it up. Denhalter's going to shoot it. Denhalter's going to make it, and now Denhalter's going to go to the line to finish this off for the possibility of a three-point play. Raya Denhalter, the sophomore for the Lady Lobos. As Sholo missing the Wilson sisters, and two of their better players, let's be honest. A unique situation is that's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be last tipped, according to the officials, by the Cougars. So the ball will belong to the Snowflake Lobos. Hips to inbound, Hips to Brogan. Brogan three-point shot, no good. Rebound, Olberg. Olberg tries to put it up and in, and she's going to get it kind of her hand tied, and it's going to go out of bounds, and they're going to say it was last touched by Olberg, and that's going to belong to the Cougars as Dazen's going to inbound. Dazen to Kulish. Kulish falls to the court, and we're going to get a timeout. They're going to take a timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. We're going to take it as well. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As Sholo close to losing the ball, Coach Francis calling a very quick timeout. Now the ball's going to get inbounded by the Cougars under their own bench. Long court pass, and that is going to be knocked away, and that's going to be intercepted on the pass by Hips as Coolish is going to reach over and foul her. That's going to be the second team, and that is going to be Coolish's first of the game. Lobos up 16-13, a very slim three-point lead as neither team has been able to get into much of a rhythm tonight as there's Hips bringing down half court, Hips to Nichols. Lobos have not looked much to get it inside, and Oberg doing a great job of rebounding. Oberg leading all rebounders right now as we're going to get a whistle. We're going to another foul as Jaylee Boyce is going to be whistled for a foul. That's going to be the team third, so that's going to belong to the Lobos, out of bounds. And I don't think Boyce thought she got anything right there as we – it looks like she just kind of was simply going for the ball, and it's kind of almost looked like she just tipped it away and tipped it to herself. And then Mr. Baker, the official, says, no, you got her more than the contact we can allow. As Lindsay's going to take a spot on the bench, and she is going to be replaced by, I'm not sure who they replaced with. Ball is inbounded, ends up in the hands of Denhalter. Denhalter tries to drive the key, and Denhalter's going to be whistled for a travel as she took one too many steps on her way to the basket as we watch a replay there. And a clear travel on Denhalter as she goes in. Ball's knocked out of bounds, and now it's going to go back to the Sholo Cougars. The Snowflake's going to sub a fresh five. That's going to be Carlisle, Reedhead, Stewart, and Hancock checking in for the Lobos with the 16-13 lead. Ball is inbounded. Knocked away and controlled. Actually, that was knocked out on the Sholo Cougars. Ball's going to go to the Lobos as Reedhead brings it into Hancock. Hancock back to Reedhead. Reedhead inside to Carlisle. Carlisle loses it, and that's going to be knocked away, and Coolish is going to get it. Coolish is going to control it down the middle of the court. Coolish to her right, guarded by Stewart, and now we're going to go whistle. We're going to get a foul on Kennedy Stewart as that's going to be Kennedy's first, and that's going to be a team second. And still a three-point lead for the Snowflake Lobos with just under halfway, just over halfway through the second quarter. Ball tipped out of bounds, going to belong to the Cougars. Coolish to inbound. Coolish tips it up high, tries to get it into more tips. It does get to Moore. Coolish looking for a long three-point basket. Now she goes to her right, drives the lane. Coolish drives the lane, fakes off, clears it, puts it up. That is going to be good. Mackenzie Coolish for two. She's got 6 for her team. As now we're 16-15, Lobos with a 1-point lead. Now Stewart at the top of the key, back to Reedhead. Reedhead, three-point shot, no good. Rebound by Carlisle. Carlisle gets it, and we're going to get tangled up, and it's going to be a jump ball, and that's going to belong to the Sholo Cougars. Underneath, oh no, they're saying it's the possession arrow on the clock is facing, and now they correct it. And Sholo does have the ball as Coolish is set to inbound. Coolish, nice softball pass down to Boyce. Boyce gets it just outside her key on her basket, and Boyce is going to get whistled, and she's going to get called for a travel. And I'm not sure what we have there. Not a replay, but nonetheless, it's going to go back to the Lobos as Stewart's going to inbound it, crosses the time stripe. Stewart over to Reedhead, and that's going to be Dazen. Dazen knocks that ball out of bounds. As now the Lobos are going to get it. Carlisle to inbound. Carlisle, long pass to Stewart at the top of the key. Now Stewart brings it to the top of the key over to Reedhead. Reedhead back to Stewart. Stewart to her left. Out now to Hancock. Hancock, bank shot three-pointer, and that's going to be good for Taylor Hancock, the sophomore for the Lobos. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul, and I think they're actually going to call that on Hancock. That's going to be the third team for the Lobos, so both teams with 3 team fouls this quarter, as we're going to get a substitution as Stahl is going to check back in for the Sholo Cougars. Coolish to inbound. Coolish inbounds to Boyce. Boyce, long court pass Stolen by Reedhead. Reedhead over to Hancock. Hancock back to Reedhead. Barely avoided the half court. Now to Stewart. Stewart, 18-foot jumper, no good. Rebound Hancock. Hancock, no good. Carlisle now has it. Carlisle puts it up, no good. However, she is fouled. As we look at the replay, Carlisle grabbing it. Nice job putting it back up, and it looks like that's going to be on number 23 Stahl, and that is going to be, she barely got, what do you call that? The just under the palm. You call that the wrist. The wrist. As Carlisle is going to go to the line for a couple. First one is good, and the Lobos clinging to that hope of those free throws. Carlisle's second shot coming. Second one is no good. Rebound is Carlisle tries to get her own. Is it bounced over to the near side? Carlisle tried to get it. She kind of tipped it, went, and she tried to save it out of bounds, and that goes out of bounds on her. Now Coolish for the Cougars inbounds. Ball goes inbound to Boyce, back to Coolish. Coolish on the floor as she maintained the dribble. No travel called. Coolish down underneath to Sydney Stahl. Sydney Stahl up for two. 20-17, three-point lead for the Snowflake Lotos, minute 50. As Stewart's going to bring it across over to Reedhead. Reedhead back to Stewart to Hancock. Three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Reedhead under the basket. Kissed off the basket, and that is good for Chloe Reedhead. 22-17, minute 36 left here in the first half. Boyce with the ball. Boyce drives the lane. Boyce off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound is by Carlisle. Carlisle to Stewart. Now Stewart bringing up some pace here. Over to Reedhead. Reedhead into Carlisle. Carlisle takes a step, and I wasn't able to see from my vantage point. Looking at the replay here, I thought Carlisle might have traveled, but no. Our replay shows that she did not. So Carlisle's going to go to the line. And this is Natalie Carlisle. We have Natalie and Lindsay. And Natalie is the senior off her first one. No good. Second free throw is good, and that's going to be 23-17. Lobos up 6, minute 17 left as Sholo to inbounds. Mr. Baker telling Mackenzie Coolish she can go each way. Coolish, nice arm, nice pass, as that's going to go to number 14. That's going to go to Jaylee Boyce, and Jaylee Boyce is going to lay it up for an easy. Great job by Coolish over to Boyce, over the top to get that ball up and in for the basket. As Hips is going to bring it down out of the Lobos, over to Nichols. On the far side to Brogan. Brogan's going to lose it. It's going to go into the Sholo bench, and that ball is going to belong to the Cougars right at their bench. Coolish to inbound, minute left in this half. Inbound stolen, and that's going to be whistled on Denhalter as we go under just a minute, as the ball is going to be, and I think that's going to be the fourth team foul, but more importantly, I think that's going to be Raya's third personal as Stewart checks in for Denhalter. Sholo setting up an inbound play. Coolish to inbound as Hadley Nichols comes back to stop Boyce from that inbound play. Coolish passes it in, gets the ball back, brings it over midcourt, top of the key. Now she goes to her left. She lays it up with a long floating right-hander, but she's going to be fouled. Mackenzie Coolish is going to go to the line. She gets to shoot a couple. (23-19), Lobos clinging to a 4-point lead, just under a minute left in the first half. As Mr. Jake Udall, the official, goes over to the table, looks like we're straight, and Coolish is going to get the ball, and her first free throw coming. Coolish's first one is no good, off the mark. Nice matchup down there between Moore and Oberg underneath the basket. Ball rebound to that side. Oberg's going to end up with it. However, she's going to be guarded by Moore. Now Oberg clears it to Hips. Hips crosses the time stripe. Top of the key. Over to Brogan in the middle. Brogan, long court pass over the side to Hadley. Back to Brogan in front of the Sholo bench. Back to Nichols. Nichols into the middle to Hips. Hips back to Nichols over on the far side. Looking. 16 on the shot clock. Now Hips is going to shoot a three. It's going to be off the mark. Rebound is by Boyce for the Cougars. Boyce now bringing it up. Boyce crosses the time start, guarded by Nichols. As Nichols knocks it away, now we're going to get Nichols. And Nichols is going to steal the ball, drop to her feet. And it's going to end up with Oberg. Oberg throws it. It goes off the backs of Brogan. Hips gets it. And now Hips is forced out of bounds, and it's going to be Sholo ball underneath the Snowflake basket with 8 seconds left, down 4. Coolish to inbound. Over to Boyce. Back to Coolish. Intercepted by Hips. Hips drives the lane, and Hips is going to get a double dribble call as she was tripped. She was tripped up, but I think that goes down as incidental contact as she gets tripped, and the ball now belongs to the Cougars of a violation by Hips. As Brogan comes in, Brogan gets it, no good. We're going to end the first half with the score 23-19. Don't go away, folks. Don't go away. We're going to come back and give you our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. We're going to go ahead and take a break, come back and bring that to you. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focus on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Hey, White Mountains, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center on the Deuce and Sholo. At Horn Auto Center, we're proud to offer the best pricing on all of our new inventory. We won't be beat on price. We'll honor any advertised price on a comparably equipped vehicle on any new Chevy, GMC, or Cadillac. It's that simple. Save time, gas, and money while keeping your tax dollars local when you visit Horn Auto Center. Come see us on the Deuce and Sholo, where we won't be beat on price. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com, and welcome this time to our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. Honda Ski and Outdoor for all your outdoor needs, winter, summer, spring, fall, we've got them all. Honda Ski and Outdoor, as the Snowflake Globals have a 23-19 lead over the visiting Sholo Cougars. Sholo Cougars playing tonight without the 2 Wilson sisters, and they have a other school activity commitment that they are at. The only details I'm getting at that at this point, but running down, Sholo, Mackenzie Coolish leading Sholo scorers with 6 this evening, and doing a very good job. She's handling the ball handle duties as well as bringing in the ball every time. So Mackenzie Coolish doing a fantastic job for them. She's had some very good drives in the lane, putting it up and in, and causing the Lobos to collapse on her and foul. Doing a fantastic job keeping her team in this game, although it's only a 4-point game. But Sholo seeming to be out of rhythm. Snowflake, on the other hand, doing a lot to put up the 3-point shot. They're not living and dying by it. They're being able to get the rebound, but they do have 3 threes on the half. However, their leading scorer for the half with also 6 is Kinsey Brogan, number 3. She has a 3, and then she has a 3-point play on 3 free throws. So that is our 2 leading scorers for each team, both with 6. As we look at the replay here, there's a nice job of Hipson to rebound to Nichols, as Nichols puts it in for 3. And we're looking for our Deemer's Glass man of the game, 188 Glassman, Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, as well as our Horn Auto Center drive of the game. And we haven't found anything that's going to be, but I guess we're going to need to buckle in for a good one this second half, as the Lobos only with a 4-point lead and the Cougars with their number 1 ranking. Coming into this game, we're going to be set for a pretty good second half, folks. So don't go anywhere. We're going to bring this one to you. This has been the Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show, and this is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right, not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Hey White Mountains, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center on the Deuce and Sholo. At Horn Auto Center, we're proud to offer the best pricing on all of our new inventory. We won't be beat on price. We'll honor any advertised price on a comparably equipped vehicle on any new Chevy, GMC, or Cadillac. It's that simple. Save time, gas, and money while keeping your tax dollars local when you visit Horn Auto Center. Come see us on the Deuce and Sholo, where we won't be beat on price. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we have the Northland Pioneer College tip-off of the third quarter. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off to the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College with locations in Navajo and Apache County. As you just saw, Nicole Hips for the Snowflake Lobos putting it in for 3 points. As Nicole Hips puts a 3-pointer up, and that's going to give the Lobos a 7-point lead. As I believe that's Coolish on the far side, guarded by Hips. Coolish goes, lays it up with her left hand on the left side, falls to the floor, no foul called. Hips crosses the time stripe, Hips to Denhalter. Denhalter puts it on the floor, left hand, left side, no good. Rebound is Boyce. Boyce with the rebound, now to deliver. Sholo, Coolish, top of the key. Coolish, long 3-point shot, no good. Rebound is, I believe the rebound was by Lindsay, as I believe that was Stahl that finished that one off for the Sholo Cougars, as that puts Stahl in a tie for leading scorers on her team with 6. That's going to go over to Nichols. Nichols into Olberg. Olberg the free throw line. There's Brogan going to shoot a 3. Brogan no good. Rebound is, that's Coolish with the rebound. As Coolish brings it across the time stripe, long court pass, tipped out of bounds by Nichols, and that's going to stay on that side and belong to the Sholo Cougars. Inbound by Moore. Moore inbounds it to, actually that was going to be Lindsay, inbounds to Moore. Over on the far side to Boyce. Ball goes up, no good. That's going to go to the Lobos as Haley Westover checks in and going to get her first minutes of this game as Hips brings it into Nichols. Nichols back to Hips. Hips going to have the ball handling duty this possession. Hips top of the key to Nichols. Nichols back to Hips, now to Brogan. Brogan over to Nichols. Nichols inside to Denhalter. Denhalter dribbles, puts it on the ground. No good, and we're going to get ourselves I believe that's going to be a foul, and that's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos, as yes, that's going to be a foul on Stahl, and that's going to be her fourth foul, and that is the first team for the Cougars. Hips to inbounds. Hips into Denhalter. Denhalter has it knocked away. I think that was number 14, Jaylee Boyce, knocking it away. 26-21, 5-point lead for the Snowflake Lobos. As Cougars setting up their offense. As Boyce is going to bring it down. Back over to Romo. No good rebound, and we're going to have a push, and it's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos. And that's going to be Mr. Udall saying that's on the ground, and it's going to belong underneath the basket to the Snowflake Lobos. No, I believe he's going to call that on Nichols. And that's going to be Nichols' second foul of the game, and it's going to be Cougar ball. He had whistled and sent that down the long way. Inbound pass now to Lindsay. Lindsay no good. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos. Hips brings the ball across. I'm joined, folks, by Abe Bodden. Abe doing some basketball watching of his own. And there's a steal by Boyce. Boyce going to put up no good, and that's going to be a foul on Hips. Welcome, Abe.
Yeah, good to be with you, Aaron. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
We just came over from Holbrook and watched the 8th grade girls win, and so we'll see if the Lobos can take care of business here.
So tell us what happened over there, because we've got little Cougars and little Lobos over there taking part.
So they're having a junior high tournament this weekend, and Lobos won 2 games. They beat Alchesay in the first game and then beat Chinley in the second. So
Chinley coming down off the Navajo reservation to participate. 26-21, folks, 5:15 left here in the third. And so
I was watching the game on the way over. It looks like we've got a good one here. So
yeah, we got a good one here. As
it's always a good one between the Cougars and
Lobos. It always
is
a good one. My understanding is that the Wilson sisters are not playing because they're at another school activity, and that has not been confirmed. That is a third-hand source. So the Sholo is really missing 2 of their premier players. And as I was talking to Coach Mike Brogan, he wasn't sure, and he didn't know what was going on. He's like, well, whether they're here or whether they're not here, we got to play. But one of the things he did say to me is, take away the Wilson, this is still a really good basketball team.
Yes.
And he said their experience, they played in the state title last year against Alchesay, and he said most of these girls were on their state runner-up soccer team from this year. So Sholo no strangers to winning in the girls' sports right now.
Well, I'm watching that first half on my way over from Holbrook. It looked like they've got some athletes, and the girls are getting after it. And Snowflake's answering the call, though. They look like they're sharp tonight on senior night, playing through the emotions, so that's always good to see.
Carlisle off. That's inbound. That's going to be rebounded by Hancock. Hancock's going to put up other Carlisle. That's going to be Natalie's going to end up. We're going to be whistled. That's going to be a jump ball, and that is going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos. Looking ahead to the boys' game, as I was saying earlier, Abe, the boys' game this year, the first time they played at Hatch Toyota Arena is what we're calling it now.
Okay.
As they played over there, the Lobos were down 18 in the third quarter and came back and lost by 2. And I heard they had a 4-point lead at one point. Now, I was on a trip with some students, an academic trip with some students, and I turned on the game on the way home and heard 18-point lead, and I got to be honest, I got on Instagram later and saw that Sholo had won 70-72 and went, well, I missed a really good one, but we've got a good one here, 26-21, as these Sholo Cougars looking pretty sharp. Neither team, and I wonder if not having the Wilson twins has hurt Sholo getting in a rhythm, as that's going to be number 12 Moore is going to try to throw in the ball and bounce it off Chloe Reedhead's feet. And Chloe Reedhead simply reached down, except the long court pass was mishandled by Stewart. It goes out of bounds, and now the ball belongs to the Cougars as Kulish is going to bring it up. Kulish with good amount of points for her team on the night. I have her down for 6, but my stats are never 100%, and they're not the official. As Kulish tries to throw, and that's intercepted by Carlisle. Carlisle is now going to bring it as Lobos are 4-on-4 right now inside to Stewart, and that's going to be whistled, and that is going to be an offensive foul on Carlisle, and that's the price you pay sometimes when you put that ball on the court and go long court.
Yeah, just a little out of control there as the Lobos are trying to push the ball up floor after a good defensive stop, but just a little out of control and ends up getting the charge.
Now Kulish with the ball, crosses the time stripe, hands it over to number 12. That is Tatum Moore. Moore inside to Moore.
Oh, good block.
And that's a good block by Carlisle off the mark, and we're going to get a foul. Importantly, we're just barely halfway through this quarter, and that is going to be the Lobos' 5th team foul. And we know now that this year in high school ball, it's by quarter, and the 5th team foul puts you at the line. So Sholo in a huge advantage to bring this one back within a couple, as Moore's going to go to the line. And Moore's first one is no good off the back of the iron. 26-21, still a 5-point lead for the Lobos.
Is that Taylor Hancock on the fouls with the scoreboard showing? Her second foul of the game. So do we have any of the players in foul trouble at all, Aaron?
Denhalter has 3. She is in trouble.
Yeah.
As Carlisle's going to rebound, both misses by Moore. Carlisle over to Lindsay. Carlisle over on the far side to Stewart. Stewart, 3-point shot.
Good shot.
And the Lobos, folks at home, they're about 3 for 18 on their 3-point shots tonight. And that's not a good percentage, but they still are clinging to a lead. And they do have 9 points of threes, so that is part of their point total and their lead. As that's going to go to Kulish. Kulish, 8-foot jumper, no good. Rebound. I think
nice
that's
up
Romo.
and under. Wow.
That's a nice up and under. Is that Dazen or Romo? I believe that's Romo, number 24. No, that is Dazen.
Yeah,
34 up for 2. And that cuts the lead to 3.
Lobos had her stopped right there, Aaron, but nifty footwork, and she's able to use the backboard sort of as the extra screener there and get that ball up on the rim. That was a good-looking play.
It's always interesting because you have, a lot of times you have the backboard and then the out-of-bounds line, so you almost feel like you have 7 defenders, and she dribbled through that and scooped it up and put it off the backboard and in. As Lobos are going to bring in a fresh 5, and Sholo's going to come down, and they're going to shoot them. This could be a huge difference in the game, folks, as that 5 team fouls, and we're going to have a 4th foul on Hancock as these Lobos are going to check in a bunch.
Well, looking over at the Sholo bench, Aaron, you've just got 3 subs is all they have, so Snowflake has 8 more players than they do. So maybe as we see in the 4th quarter here, stamina and fatigue could play a part in this.
Well, we saw that,
especially Sholo playing from behind most of the game. They've had to exert a lot of energy and effort to stay close.
We saw something similar to that the other night as we were watching Blue Ridge and Winslow, and Winslow had J.C. Ghani, who's been an outstanding player for them, as that's going to rebound by Moore, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a jump ball between Moore and Oberg. That's a matchup we've been watching very close. Those two going at it underneath the underneath. I don't think they call them centers anymore. The posts. I hear all these things about 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s, and they can't play because they're not a 1 or they're not a 2, and I'm going,
good hustle.
Put your 5 best players out there and play the daggone game. Little hustle by Nichols. Is that going to be a whistle and a foul, or are we just on a possession? As Nichols now falls to her knees, and Coach Brogan and assistant coach Nichols coming out to check on Hadley. As Hadley's hobbling a little bit, now we're going to get the senior number 5, Chloe Reedhead, to check in.
And she went hard to the floor, and I feel like maybe she just got the wind knocked out of her. As you see here on the replay, yeah, she landed on the ball, and then the Sholo player landed on top of her. Great hustle play there by Nichols, but yeah, you can see.
Oh, it looks like it kind of got the ribs.
Yeah, she's over on the bench trying to get some air back in her. I think she definitely got the wind knocked out of her there. So
There's Reed over to Hips. Oh, just off the reach of Denhalter, as we only have a 2-point lead for the Snowflake Lobos. And at any time, these Show Low Cougars can make a lot happen. I don't feel, Abe, as we're going to get a timeout, we're going to go ahead and take one too. This Show Low Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk106.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Show Low Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Show Low Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Show Low Ford has the best deal. Show Low Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at showlowford.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back to the Den at Snowflake High School, home of the Snowflake Lobos, as they are hosting the Show Low Lady Cougars. The Show Low Lady Cougars bringing their #1 ranking of the 3A girls basketball into the Den tonight, as the Snowflake Lobos ranked 7th. And last time, Snowflake had a 16-point lead and had it lost and snatched away by the Cougars. As we're going to whistle, we're going to foul, so we're going to go down and shoot another. And this could be the difference in the ball game, because the momentum on these free throws, if you make them, it carries over to your team, Abe, and that could be a huge difference in the stretch, even though we're still 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this quarter.
Well, when you're the team that's behind like Show Low, this slows the pace down. It allows you to score without time running off the clock. You know, there's so much that this does, and you're right, Aaron. It's going to play a big role, I think, here as we come into the closing minutes here of the third quarter. Lobos have turned it over the last few times down the floor. You know, when you've got the lead late in the game, turnovers are what allows the team that's losing to get in front. And Lobos got to take control of that ball. I'm sure Coach Brogan preached that in that last time out. So,
as Lindsay missed her second one off the mark, rebound by Olberg. Now Hips brings the ball across. Hips to Brogan, back to Hips. Brogan, long court pass to Nichols, who's just checked back in the game. She caught her breath. Inside to Reedhead up and in, no good. Now to Olberg.
There it is.
That's going to put up and in, so that's going to be a 28-25 lead. And Snowflake desperately needed that if you're one of the Lobo faithful.
Yeah, good rebound there by Chloe Olberg to stay active on the offensive glass. And little hustle plays like that, Aaron, will make a difference one way or the other for either team in this game.
Absolutely. As number 20, Amberlyn Lindsay with the ball. Over to Moore. Now controlled by Dazen. Dazen dribbles to her right, top of the key. Passes it over to, I'm not sure on that number. That's number 21. That is Grace Moore. Moore, no good. We're going to get and Mr. Baker says that is a jump ball. I actually was having a little bit of a text conversation with Mr. Scott Baker the other day, talking about a couple things. And it is noted, Abe, and we can go ahead and bring it up right now, as Mr. Baker is the Holbrook head coach for girls softball.
Oh, good for
and
Scott.
And it is noted, this is his 5th or 6th year. I think about 6th year doing it, but it was noted that it is spring sports season in the White Mountains on Monday as Kinsey Brogan puts up a 3, no good, rebound by the Cougars. And Abe, that means a couple things. One is our baseball, softball, track, and golf teams start.
Yep.
The second thing it means is it gets cold. And the third thing it means, and this is the most important, the wind starts blowing. And it blows until
we got to feel that today, right? So we all got it. We all got prepped today.
We did get it today, as we're gonna have a chance to cover some of these athletes this spring. And I'm gonna tell you what, folks, you might as well just put on your calendar when these games come across on iTalk that you're just going to be better off sitting in your living room watching these games in the afternoon of these teams rather than trying to roll down, as Hips is going to get it on the far side. Hips is going to put it up. That's going to be no good. Hips is going to be fouled. Hips is going to go to the line with a 3-point lead. Just over a minute left to play here in the third quarter. So we're almost 3/4 of the way done, as Nicole Hips is going to go to the line to shoot a couple. Don't go anywhere, folks. We have the boys game after, live here from Snowflake High School. The Den at Snowflake High School on the campus. beautiful gymnasium as it is starting to really fill up, especially the student section, starting to get the students of Snowflake High School. And Abe, I remember in 2005-06 school year, in 2005-06 when this was finished, as Hips hits her second, they were talking about some different things, and I happened to be a part of a conversation. And one of the things brought up is that they were going to put the Snowflake bench over here by the entrance, and they were going to put the visitors bench over here by the student section, so that when the visiting team shot free throws in the second half, it would be with the Snowflake student shadow in their background. As there's Kulish doing a fantastic job. Can't say enough about her tonight. As
10-second
we're going to get a 10-second violation as
might get a T.
That's going to get a technical foul on Kulish, and
I think Scott's going to ring her up maybe.
And
there.
Mr. Baker's going to ring her up, so Lobos are not even going to worry about the ball. As we're going to get a technical foul. That's an automatic slam. The ball get a technical. And the Lobos are going, okay, Brogan, you go shoot it, because none of us have had the hot hand other than Kinsey. Brogan 3 for 3 from the line, as we have a little bit of an issue in the stands, and we're going to get somebody removed.
Coach Stafford's going to have to come over and remove a fan, as he was getting after the official over that technical call. I don't know what you're arguing there. You can't allow your emotions to show like that. Anytime you slam a ball and it goes up above your head, that's what's going to happen. So,
and we're waiting to clear the Cougar fan out. As high school officiating is a thankless job. I know from firsthand experience. I thoroughly enjoy doing it. I know that these men covering this game tonight, not only are they very good at what they do, but they're also they study the game. They're good at their craft, but they don't have to put up with that verbal abuse. And you folks listening don't kind of hear it like we do here. As Brogan is off on her first technical foul shot, up 5 going into the fourth quarter, and having to get somebody removed. As Brogan makes her second, and that's going to belong to the Lobos as the technical foul goes. As we've seen some unruly fan behavior, Abe, and I hate to say this, but you kind of expect it when these two teams grapple with one another.
Well, if this boys' game is going to be close too, like this one is, it'll be rocking in here tonight.
Well, I've been a part of this Sholo Snowflake rivalry for as Loberg's going to shoot a 3, and that is going to be no good. That is going to be rebounded by Boyce, as that is only Kulish's second team foul of the game. As Kulish going to bring the ball, she's going to dribble to her left. She's been very good with her left side. That's going to go into more. That's going to be push and a foul out of bounds, and we're not going to go out of bounds. We're going to shoot it. As it's hard to see the numbers of the officials on who they're calling that on. That is going to go on Brogan. That's going to go on Brogan. That's her second personal, and that is way over the 5 for the team. As Jaylee Boyce is going to shoot a couple here. First one is no good.
Does Sholo have a lot of seniors this year, Aaron? Like out of that state championship team that went last year, is it sort of a return group?
Yeah, well, one Wilson's a junior, the other one's a senior. Dazen, Wilson, Stallmore. So it is a very their major contributors are seniors. But if you look at the Lobo squad, it's not much different. Nichols is a senior, Brogan's a senior, Reedhead's a senior.
Oh, Hadley Nichols.
Hadley Nichols with a teeth-shattering Comfort Fit Dentures 3-point shot by Hadley Nichols. That is her second three-pointer of the game, and that's going to be a 9-point lead. And the way this game's gone, that's actually commanding lead inside to Moore. Moore no good off the mark.
Good defense by Brogan
and
there.
That is Brogan just simply had her hands up, doing what you're instructed.
2-1.
As the Hips is going to put up a long 3. No good. We're going to take a timeout. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. Is something must have just happened here, because I just see a lot of students get up and start walking, and there's people shifting around as we're 8 minutes away from the final buzzer of this one, as Mr. Jake Udall is going to give the ball to Kulish. Kulish is going to bring it in with Kulish and Lindsay, Dazen, and that is 23 is Stahl, and more are on the court for the Cougars. Stewart, Reedhead, Hancock, Carlisle for the Lobos. And folks, I apologize at first. I happen to live in this community of Snowflake. My daughter is injured but has played basketball with these girls for a couple of years. She's injured this year and sitting on the bench, and has been so I know these girls by sight. I'm trying my best to get the Sholo girls down, but I learned real quick in basketball, you get a few minutes into the game, you kind of remember them, and then you forget them till the next time you get them. So doing my best, and I know Kulish doing a fantastic job bringing across the balls. Kulish is going to go right side,
Good move.
coast to coast, and she's going to be fouled. And more importantly, that is going to be Snowflake's second team foul, and they can't afford to be halfway through this quarter and let Sholo shoot on every foul as we move on.
That's 4 on Taylor too, Aaron.
That is 4 on Hancock.
Yeah, so she's
number 4 with 4.
Yeah, Kulish, she just took off like a bolt of lightning up that right side and put a lot of pressure on that Lobo defense, and that's probably going to be the recipe for success for Sholo. You've got to push the issue here, being down 8 now.
Well, Kulish has done a great job of pushing it as her second one goes off the mark, and rebound is by Carlisle. We're going to get a travel.
That's going to be a travel.
And
probably could have been just as over,
could have been just
over
as,
the back, but
is just as well. But that's
good call though by the officials. It was definitely a travel as she was trying to get back up. So
Kulish bringing in the ball as she's going to bring it into number 5, and that is Jordan Boyce. As it's going to be saved, and now Reedhead with the ball. Reedhead left side, going left side, left hand.
Yep, block.
And she's going to go and she's going to get over the line, but we're going to have a block call as the Snowflake bench getting really excited. Coach Brogan even getting up, showing a little bit of animation.
You saw it on the replay there, and Sholo faithful, they were begging for the charge there, but the replay showed that's actually a pretty good call, it looks like, there by the officials. I didn't see which player they called it on, number 5, but
Reedhead's
anyway,
first one no good.
She was turning into Reedhead as she went up for the layup. So
Reedhead's first one is off the mark. Now Sholo controls it, down 34-26, just over 7 left to play. As Lindsay brings it over, back over to Boyce. 3-point shot. That was Kulish for 3. That one is good. That is a huge 3-point shot for the Cougars.
2. She was at the.
Oh, they called it 2.
Elbow,
I
yeah.
thought and we're going to get an interception by. As that's going to be out of bounds. That is Dazen, and Dazen's going to get out of bounds as we're going to get number 21 Grace Moore is going to check in for Lindsay, as Dazen just kind of threw that away. Dazen, the senior for the Cougars.
She had the right idea, and she had her teammate running up the right side and had the right idea on that, but just didn't quite execute the way she needed to.
You know, Abe, girls basketball is such a fundamental game.
Yeah, 100%.
If you can handle the ball, pass the ball, dribble the ball, and rebound the ball, it's not even about shooting. As there's a long court pass to Boyce, as Boyce is going to be fouled, and that's going to be Snowflake's. That's going to be Snowflake's 3rd team foul, and this is going to be, no matter what now, it is going to be a factor moving down the stretch. As Coach Francis is instructing, as Snowflake's going to bring in a fresh 5. Coach Francis for the Cougars is trying to tell her squad, and she's pointing her head like giving them, hey, think, guys, think. They've been in similar situations. Inbound goes to Inbound goes into, I believe that was Moore, but back to Coolish. Coolish three-point shot, no good. Rebound Nichols. As Nichols doesn't seem to be affected by, we're pretty sure, getting the wind knocked out of our Summit Healthcare injury report. Over the head to Denhalter. Denhalter puts it up, no good. That is going to be a 2-shot foul, and Denhalter is going to go to the line with a charity stripe for a couple.
Well, great look here by Hadley Nichols. We missed it a bit on the replay, but Hadley with her head up as she's dribbling down the court and finds Denhalter. Now they get a chance to convert at the line, which she does on the first.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. I'm Aaron Hewish. I'm joined by Abe Bodden. We have Mel and RJ in the truck. We have, I believe, Robin on the cameras. Just a fantastic production crew bringing you this game. Going to bring you the boys game next. And we are, as Hips is going to shoot a three. No good. Ball out. Going to belong to the Cougars. As I don't want to start looking forward to the boys game, but anytime you tackle with a rival team, football, baseball, basketball, whatever it is, it's a big deal. And
all things can happen. It's all on the table for tonight.
Well, and we're talking about playoff positioning and playoff spots, and you have a team the other night, Blue Ridge was ranked 27th, and came in and played Snowflake, who was ranked 7th, and beat them in overtime as Brogan intercepts the pass and gets kind of knocked in the mouth.
Hey,
but no,
Hadley.
That's going to be Hadley Nichols, and Hadley Nichols knocks down the three as Nichols gives the Lobos a 10-point lead, their biggest lead of the ball game. And I am going to just go ahead, and the play of Coolish in this game is what has kept Sholo in this game. She has done a fantastic job. Sorry, folks. A text just came across as it's one of those things we can't ignore. As that's 23 Stahl with the ball. As she's going to get whistled, she's going to get called for a travel. As I'm Aaron Hewish, joined by Abe Bodden this evening, and we know there are some people tuning in because they're letting us know. We're going to time out. We're going to take one. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com, as we like to give a shout out to one of our listeners, Coach Brian White of the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. And Coach Brian White, we just want to wish you a fantastic start to your softball season, or baseball season, excuse me. Looking forward to the weather forecast, cold and windy, and we're just going to say, Coach White, you deserve every bit of that. So, but we love Coach White. We love what he does with his program. He has had a young man just signed with Arizona Christian. Rooney, I don't know his first name. Ryan Rooney, and he has just signed with Arizona Christian, and hopefully, Abe, we get a chance to cover the Lobos, the Jackets, and the Cougars, both softball and baseball coming up, and we're going to talk about that during the boys' games. Some exciting things to see this spring in baseball and softball, and I have my own thoughts about the way the league's going to head, but baseball, softball, funny is Oberg inside. Oberg misses the shot. Gets her ring. Now Oberg has it stripped away. Stolen by number 14, Jaylee Boyce. Now Boyce methodically brings the ball across the time stripe. 4 minutes and 51 seconds left. So we're going to get a foul on the Lobos, and that's going to be Nicole Hips, and that's going to be...
That'll be the team foul number 4. Third on Nicole.
That is on the third on Nicole, fourth team. Yes, you're right, Abe.
And that's one thing that, I'm sure if you're Coach Brogan, you want the hustle out of it, but some of these fouls are going to start adding up and put them on the line. Yeah, good tie-up there by Brogan.
Great tie-up by Brogan, and what I like in that situation is I go back to the fundamentals is Brogan went in and kind of clasped it overhand and not went in where she could be actually charged with a foul. As there's the ball to Hadley. Hadley Nichols to Nicole Hips. Hips crosses the time stripe at midcourt. Now at the 28-foot line in the center of the court. Hadley inside to Oberg. Oberg kisses it off the glass for 2. That is a 12-point lead. That is Snowflake's biggest 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game.
She's been tough down there tonight. Oh, and Denhalter.
Then there's Denhalter. And Denhalter, and that's going to be a we're going to get a foul. I thought, Abe, we were going to get ourselves a backcourt violation. And one of the things, and I don't know this, I don't know this for sure, but I know when you run a transition game, and I'm not a basketball guy, I know the rules. I officiated 20 plus years ago, but what I don't understand is I know that when you're running the transition game, you do not like to pass the ball backwards.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they did there, and Denhalter kind of got a little bit out of the mark on that. And we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul, and that is going to go against the Cougars as Coach Francis is just a little bit of frustration on her face as she has not been in this position much this season, as Denhalter's going to go to the line. As we like to thank those of you listening as the texts roll in from some of our both Abe and I's friends across the White Mountains, and we appreciate you joining us on italk1067.com for Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball. Sholo Ford, Ace Hardware, Comfort Fit Dentures, Deemer's Glass, Summit Healthcare, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. As Denhalter makes her second. Now, one of the things, Abe, is we're going to have to look at our Deemer's Glass.
Denhalter, another steal.
That's another steal by Denhalter. As it's going to be stolen again by the Cougars, and that's going to be Boyce forward, almost lost to other Boyce. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound, Brogan. Brogan has it knocked away, and that's going to go to the Snowflake Lobos.
The Lobos are now in control of this game, Aaron. They're actually the ones going to be going to the free throw line as Sholo's in the bonus. And
quick as that
changed. They're up 14 right now. If they don't turn the ball over, this will fall in their favor.
And Abe, we got to look at a couple things right now, moving to our post-game show. Not that the Lobos have this. As Kinsey Brogan shoots it, we can see that was off from our mark, and it's off, and that's going to go out of bounds on the Lobos and belong to the Cougars. We have our Deemer's Glass man of the game. And right now, because we're talking about glass man, Windex, they clean the glass. But we got to, and right now I would say that that's either going to go to Jaylee Boyce, McKenna Kolish of the Cougars, or I would say even though she may not lead her team in points, you got to look at Chloe Oberg for the Lobos and what she's done inside.
Well, the second half, I've really liked what Chloe's done in that interior block. She's done a great job.
As what she's done defensively is that's going to be rebounded by Denhalter, as Denhalter could be right there too, but there's something about Oberg's presence. We're going to get a jump ball between Kulish and Hips, and that's going to be a technical, and now she is going to have to sit, and that is going to be her second of the game, which negates her next game.
Yeah,
I believe is her that slammed the ball earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if it was number 10 or number 3, Aaron. I thought maybe it was number 3.
Well, anyway, they're going to
sit her down.
They're going to sit her down regardless, and she's such a good athlete. She's just frustrated with herself right now. Talking about Chloe Oberg.
Here, we got the – oh, never mind. I thought the replay was coming
We
up.
probably do have it. We can talk to the boys in the truck as the referees are going to talk about it.
But yeah, sorry, you were going about Chloe.
As Chloe, she's also – I'm looking at our Horn Auto Center drive of the half. And why I say Chloe, looking at that Horn Auto Center drive of the half, is because Chloe had that ball down low, and she kissed that ball off the backboard and made it. And the gym just kind of erupted, and you kind of felt the wind go out of the sail for the Sholo Cougars. So with about, 3 minutes and 50 seconds left, or 4.5 minutes about, I guess, is Chloe Oberg is going to be in the line for our Horn Auto Center drive of the half. I'm Aaron Hewish, joined by Abe Bodden. We don't have a huge idea as what's going on. I
just saw Jake Udall, referee Jake Udall. He signaled her she is out of the game.
Okay, so that negates her for next game. And
so I'm thinking that maybe that was who ended up having the first technical then, Aaron. I was thinking it was number 3 for some reason, but I must be wrong on that.
Well, and let me tell you,
they tossed her, and I think that's yeah. Anyway,
on Monday, Sholo goes to Payson and plays the Payson Longhorns, who are not an easy out. Snowflake struggled and beat them the other night, so Sholo could potentially be without Kulish for that Monday game against Payson, and that could be huge as you got Window Rock and let me look at rankings here. Sholo's ranked 1. I believe you got Window Rock and Alchese. No, it's Page and Window Rock nipping at their heels. So not a good thing for the Sholo Cougars. Not a good thing for Kulish and her teammates, as just a bit of frustration there as an athlete. You get frustrated as we're going to have Grace Moore go to the line.
Or Snowflake never came down, though, and shot technical free throws. So maybe they didn't assess a technical. Maybe they just tossed her for throwing the ball at another player. I don't know, though. It feels like that should be a technical, and I don't know why Snowflake didn't get the free throws.
I don't
anyway,
know either.
So we, of course, don't have mics on the referees, everyone, so we apologize for that. But, yeah, I saw Jake Udall signal she was out of the game, but, yeah, not quite sure what happened there. But
we're also up here away from the action. You know, folks, we're going to take a timeout. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. I'm Aaron Hewish, Mike side with Abe Bodden, the man, the myth, the legend. Abe Bodden joining me here, doing a fantastic job as Grace Moore is going to shoot her second free throw. Moore puts it up. That's good. That brings the lead to within 12. Reedhead to inbound. Reedhead over to Carlisle. Back to Reedhead. Reedhead now sends it over the top to Carlisle. Over ahead to Stewart. Stewart Hancock wide open on the other end. Stewart wasn't able to see her. Now back to Chloe Reedhead. Chloe to her left side, now over to the far side in front of the bench for Stewart. Stewart back to Reedhead, 18 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Hancock. Hancock now on the near side, back to Stewart. Stewart now to the far side to Carlisle. Carlisle
good
inside
dash.
to Carlisle. Puts it up and in, no good. Rebound is by the Cougars, and that is Boyce.
great offensive set by the Lobos that time.
I think, Gabe, the Cougars are upset without the Wilson, 2 of their players, so other players are having to step up. And I just feel a level of frustration in them right now, and it had to come on a day they were playing the Snowflake Lobos in Snowflake.
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
This is a big rivalry. It's huge. As the last few games, it's been myself, and we've kind of talked to our listeners about rivals and about these small town. As I didn't see what happened there either.
Just go out of bounds right there?
I think that's what it is.
Did they step over the line? I couldn't tell. Anyway.
As Snowflake with the 12-point lead, 2 minutes, 20 seconds left, far from over. Carlisle to Carlisle. Carlisle over on the far side, inside to Hancock. Hancock has it blocked. Great block by Grace Moore of the Sholo Cougars. As Cougars now, and that is going to be a foul, and we're going to go to the line, and we're going to shoot a couple. And like I said, free throws could be a deciding factor as we move forward towards the end of this game.
Well, 2 minutes to go here, Aaron. If you're the Lobos, you're up 12. Solid defense and no turnovers, and you want to keep getting layups. Their last 2 possessions down the floor, they've gotten layups. Good defense, good defensive recovery there by Moore on the last one to block Hancock, but you're getting what you want offensively. Now it's about playing defense without fouls and making sure that you get making sure that you're not turning the ball over.
As Boyce makes her first free throw, it's good. Boyce now for her second, no good. That's going to rattle around, and that's going to stay here.
Yeah.
As Reedhead had a chance to scoop that up, thought it had gone out on the Cougars. No, it had not. Mr. Referee official Quinn Ashton says, no, that is going to belong to the Cougars. And inbound is to Lindsay. Lindsay over to Perkins. Perkins back to Lindsay. Lindsay now dribbles inside, was going to scoop it up. She's going to step on the line. Ball going to go to the Lobos. Just under 2 minutes left here. 11-point lead for the Lobos. Do not count these Cougars out. They can shoot from just about anywhere. And like you said, Abe, Snowflake wanting to get in and shoot these layups, but it's a fundamental game. Dribbling, passing, shooting. As Carlisle goes a little bit out of control, bounces it off one of the Cougars' legs, goes to her sister. She has to scoop it. We get a jump ball, and that's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos. And the alternating possession. As we started the fourth quarter with failing to mention, this is our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off with the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College with locations in Navajo and Apache County. Northland Pioneer College. And appreciate
a little bit of a shoe break here.
I was watching a game one time, and actually it was a boys' game, and kid went for a layup, and his sole fell at about the free throw line on a fast break, and he continued and went up, and when he came down, he rolled his ankle because of that sole.
Shoot.
And every time I see something like that, I go, oh my gosh, we're going to see that again. Whistle and a foul, and that's going to put Carlisle at the line. That is number 21, Lindsey Carlisle. As folks, do not go anywhere. We're going to start wrapping this one up with our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show, where we're going to have our Deemer's Glass man of the game. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, 1-888 Glassman. As Snowflake getting ready to check in a fresh 5. As Carlisle, good. That one's going to be good for her. Lobos up 12, 43-31. Kind of what I would call a little bit of a lower scoring game for both these teams. Of course, the Cougars without Wilson. And for them, they're not going to make excuses about that. They're going to say, okay, and they're going to get those girls back, and they're going to be a dangerous team come playoff time. And from what I understand, I've seen the Window Rock Fighting Scouts firsthand. They are a very good team. And I've also watched the Page Sand Devils, and wow.
Is Page good again this year?
Yeah, and I think
what was it? It was 4 years ago. Snowflake played Page in the state title game.
It was the year after COVID, so yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah. Another turnover by the Lobos. Oh, and the Cougars
turn it
right back over to them. That's a tough one there, but
lots going on here in the White Mountains as we get set for playoff basketball. As the ball is to Nichols. Nichols, right side, near side. She sends it back to Hips. Hips now to her left. Hips drives the key at the free throw line, no good. To Brogan. Brogan back to Hips. As we turn it over to our cameraman right now, doing a fantastic job. Abe, lots going on. We have playoff basketball in the White Mountains getting ready to start. We have spring sports starting, and lots we can say about that. Is that's going to be a whistle, no foul, and that's going to be a push. So Hips going to go to the line to shoot 2, but doesn't get the credit for the basket. And we've got golf, which traditionally we've had some very good teams up here. I looked today, and the Snowflake Lobos have 10 state golf championships. I know lately it's been rough with the addition of the Triple C's, the Christians, the Charters, and the Catholics, but to have them roll through the golf. But track, Lobo boys and girls victorious last year, and both of them looking to defend their title, and both of them are going to have the Valley Christian Trojans nipping at their heels as the Snowflake girls track team returns a lot. The boys track team is going to have some young men step up. Sholo always has a solid track program, as does Blue Ridge. And softball and baseball, we can talk about that next game because we're going to have some fun talking baseball and softball with Abe Bodden. Haley Jones in the game for the Lobos, inside to Westover. Westover seeing her second minutes of the game. That's going to be whistled, and it's going to be a jump. 45-31, 54.8 seconds left here in the game from the Den at Snowflake High School. Folks, they're going to probably put about 10 minutes on the clock, and then we're going to flip over to the boys' game as we get a whistle and a...
Did the clock not start?
I don't know. We're at such a disadvantage being up here, although I like being able to see the court.
I'm not sure the clock started. That's sort of what Udall was looking at.
And that's why these three-man crews are able to look through and see those different things and pick up on those things.
Yeah.
As they're gonna mark off 4 seconds. We're gonna be at 50, as that's gonna be out of bounds, but it's gonna belong to the Cougars. As Lindsay's gonna bring it in, it's gonna go out, intended for more, and that's gonna belong to the Cougars. Jones with her first minutes of the game into bring in the ball, brings it into Hips. Hips over to Brogan.
Another clock issue?
Well, he pointed at the top of his head. I think that is a Is that a delay a game warning?
I'm not sure.
Possibly. I'm not sure. But over to Jones. That's going to be stolen by Perkins. Perkins, don't foul. She goes in. That's going to be whistled.
Yeah,
Basket's good.
Block,
foul on Hips. That's going to give the Cougars 2. That's going to bring them within 12 with a chance to put some free throws up.
Great effort by Nicole to try to get back to take the charge, but just a tad late.
Kennedy Stewart's going to check in for Nicole Hips. Nicole Hips with her 4th team foul, as Perkins is going to go to the line, and she is going to shoot one and a chance for a 3-point play. Up, no good. Rebound tipped out. Westover, so now it stays with the Cougars. 32.1 seconds up. We're going to go ahead and start our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show. And Abe, the first thing we got to look at is we got to look at our Deemers glass man of the game, and we talked about it a little bit ago, and I'm going to say that's about where we should keep it.
Oh, good shot.
And how do you feel about Chloe Olberg as our glass woman of the game?
Yep, honor her on senior night, and she played a great post position tonight.
Defensively, too.
Yeah, did a great job defensively, cleaned up the glass, so yeah, she definitely earned that tonight.
Deemers glass woman of the game is number 30, the senior, Chloe Olberg for the Snowflake Lobos. Now, we have our Honda Ski and Outdoor drive of the half. I talked about the shot by Olberg, and yes, that's a good one. But do you have anything else that sticks out in your mind as a drive? I'm trying to...
I think the Lobos, right here at the beginning of the 4th quarter, the game was a little tight. They started to pull away a little bit more in the 3rd quarter. But anyway, game was tight 4th quarter, and they just continually pressed it, made sure that they were getting layups, getting their shot offensively. So, yeah, probably just 4th quarter play from the Lobos.
So our Honda Ski and Outdoor drive of the half is going to be the Lobos and their 4th quarter play, getting the ball in and doing what they need to do to get this lead. And Sholo probably going to get the Wilson sisters back next game, and that's going to really help them as we have gone final. 47-36 is the final. And I believe Kinsey Brogan is going to lead all scorers of the Lobos tonight, as I believe Coolish led all scorers, and an unfortunate little frustration for her as she's going to have to sit tonight. Possibly, I don't know. We don't know exactly what happened, but anyway, so our Horn Auto Center drive of the half is going to be the little exchange with the Snowflake Lobo offense in that 4th quarter. Congratulations to Chloe Olberg, our Deemers glass woman of the game. Her on senior night, fantastic job. And we're going to get ready for the boys game, though, folks. So we're going to run down our sponsors one more time. Sholo Ford, Ace Hardware, Comfort Fit Dentures, Deemers Glass, Summit Healthcare, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland, Pioneer College, as well as Horn Auto Center, and lastly, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. I'm Aaron Hewish with a Baden, Robin, and let's see, Ron on the cameras, as well as Mel and RJ in the truck. Thank you, and don't go anywhere, folks. Switch over to our broadcast. We'll be back in 10.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pinetop and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by
Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemers Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 106.7 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communications station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of iTalk 106.7 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk 106.